Oh, I'm sorry. Haven't you heard? There's no host this year. What's up, guys? Riley the Movie Guy here. Thanks for joining me. If you got my little reference there, I'm obviously referring to the Oscars. Today I'm just talking about what the Oscars have been going through just these past few months, and honestly, it is crazy. Initially, this video was meant to be more of a prediction of the 24 nominations, but I feel I want to talk about what's been going on. After all the years I've been watching Oscars, I've never seen all this controversy and the choices they've made. Because this decade alone, a lot has been happening. And with film, you can see audiences have definitely have their stance on certain things. One thing that's been going on for the past month was the whole issue with how 4 of the categories were not going to be announced during the televised ceremony and during the commercial breaks. And that's something that's breaking tradition of over 90 years of this ceremony. And I saw on my Twitter everyone, fighting for this to not happen. That's really awesome to see that the Academy was going to do something like this, and the people spoke and said, no, that we're not going to let this happen. And within a few days, that announcement got reversed, and now we're going to get all 24 of them. So I say to anyone who actually called in or complained, I say bravo to you all. Cinematography and editing are pretty important awards, and I think they deserve to be televised, especially for this people, because their jobs are just as important as the directors and the actors, and they should not be overlooked like that. These movies this year are quite unusual, and some of them quite controversial compared to the past movies we've seen in this Oscars. And if you saw my first video, it was about the Best Picture nominees. I talked about 4 of them, mainly the ones I saw at the time, and that's Star is Born, Roma, Black Panther, and Bohemian Rhapsody. Those movies were good, but some of them I feel that shouldn't be in the Best Picture category. And I will admit, when I first did that first review, I was talking about Bohemian Rhapsody, saying how I loved it, and I did say I did want it to win Best Picture at the time, but then I watched it again, because I did purchase it, and I noticed how this movie was entertaining, but what made it entertaining was the music, and just some of the aspects of it were great, but the story was really thin and needed to be worked on, and just some part of me made me realize, okay, this isn't really Best Picture material. And of course, all of you know what's going on with Bryan Singer, with him being accused of certain sexual accusations, and that kind of put a damper on the movie as well. If a director or anyone involved with anything, not just film, but in music or any type of entertainment, if they are doing what they are doing, if there's proof, yes, they should be punished for this. I totally agree. But I don't think the film should be punished, because it's not just that one individual that's making that film. And for a movie like Bohemian Rhapsody, it was a good movie, but it wasn't a Best Picture movie. That's why I think it's even more controversial now, because you have 2 issues that are making it even a bigger problem. And then of course you have movies like Black Panther that's up for Best Picture, the first superhero movie to be nominated for Best Picture, and yet people I've seen on Twitter and Facebook that the reason why it's on there is because it's an African American movie and they're trying to give them support. Which, all right, yeah, fine. I mean, I'm neutral when it comes to all that, but when it comes to the movie, it has to be obviously a well-made film, and that's another one too. That I believe it was a good movie, but there's honestly better superhero movies than that one, and that's another one I feel that shouldn't really be nominated for Best Picture, but it has nothing to do with ethnic backgrounds or anything like that. I don't care if you're black or white, gay or straight. I don't care what it is. If it's a good story and if it's a well-made movie, then yes, I believe it should be up for major categories like Best Picture or Director or even in acting. But in this case, Black Panther, I just thought it was a so-so superhero movie in the MCU, and yes, there's other movies in the MCU that I thought that were so-so also. I mean, I'm white, and I thought that the second Thor movie was okay. It wasn't that great. So, like, for example, if that movie was up for Best Picture, I would have been like, no, I don't think so. That doesn't deserve it. So, I just want to put the record straight, because I don't want to be called out for being a racist, but it has nothing to do with color or sex or anything like that. It's just the matter of a certain storyline, how it's made. And I think that is why that movie's getting so much controversy. But after all this, where I feel the Oscars may be going. I mean, this is the 91st ceremony. We're getting close to 100 years of having this ceremony. So much has evolved in those 100 years that it's unbelievable how far they have come. And, you know, I see the Oscars obviously going on for a long time, of course, but it all goes with the culture and society and how it all works, because now you can see how much audiences are really having a take on how movies are made or what direction they're going to take. Social media, I mean, here we are, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, it's all playing a part within the last 10 years of how people affect how things are done or made. But I say that's a good thing, that just regular people can actually say how we feel and actually see results from it. We are on a turning point for a lot of things, and when it comes to movies and the Oscars, you can tell something is happening, especially within this year and the last few years. It's going in a direction that we haven't seen before. But what I say is, when they pick films to be nominated for Best Picture, their first priority should be movies that are for its filmmaking, for its story. I'm not saying that shouldn't be the only reason. It's okay for it to be based on certain social issues of today, or if they're trying to send a message. That's what makes a good movie, is the filmmaking involved, the acting, the directing. That's where it truly comes in. All that other stuff, yes, okay, that's fine, but that has to be important too. But yeah, that's my soapbox there. I just hope we come to a nice, smooth agreement within the future for our audience and Academy and critics, all of us. We can just be happy one day. It'd be nice. When it comes to the nominees, I applaud them and I wish the best to them all. Well guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed my little stand on where the Oscars is heading. If you have any movies that you think that should or shouldn't win, or if there's any movies you think that were snubbed this year, like I thought Mary Poppins Returns and Hereditary missed out on some good acting awards. Whatever you got on your mind, let me know in the comments below. If you like what you heard today and you want to hear more from me in the future, just consider clicking on that subscribe button down below. But in the meantime, I'll see you all at the movies.